Hello. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Welcome, replay viewers. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Good afternoon. So, we're going to talk about short sales today. I got some really good questions from a future client. Let me turn this down a little bit. Got some good questions from a future client and wanted to talk a little bit about short sales. So, let's hopefully, I'm not going to be it's not too dark in here. Hi, King Eric. All right, so let me just pull my notes up, guys, and then we'll get started. This isn't going to be too long, but definitely had a few things that I wanted to talk about. Definitely had a few things I want to talk about. Welcome, come on in, guys. If you know anybody that's thinking about buying in the near future, please share this with your friends and your followers. And you can also, hi, Music and Words, and you can also double tap the screen if you like or understand what I'm saying. And please comment if you guys have questions. So, short sales. So, let's talk about it. So, first of all, I'm Rashida Clark, and I'm a realtor in Newport News, Virginia, mainly all over the 7 cities, but on the peninsula for the most part. And so I want to talk about short sales. I got some really good questions from a new client, Naima, and I don't know if she's watching, but I got some really good questions from her about short sales because she found a short sale that she wants to go look at. And we had a long conversation last night over Facebook messaging. And so I was like, this is a good, I told her, I was like, all your questions I'm about to make into Periscope topics, sessions, or whatever. Okay, so first of all, what's a short sale? A short sale is when an owner owes more than the house is worth. So just to give you a quick, easy numbers, they owe 200,000 and they can only sell their house for 150,000. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Kozak? Nope, I'm not pronouncing that right. So I've got to kind of look down, you guys, to see your names. But welcome, thank you. Please let me know how to pronounce your name. I would love to know that. So that's what a short sale is. It's when they owe more than the house is worth. So basically, if they sell their house, they have no equity. It's not going to clear the loan when they sell the house. They will still owe the bank money. That's what a short sale is. It's different than the foreclosure. A foreclosure is when they've already stopped making their mortgage payments and the bank has already taken the house from the owner and the bank is now selling the house. So with a short sale, it adds a lot of extra steps, a lot of extra hoops to jump through, which is part of what makes the short sale process so tedious and honestly ridiculous in a lot of times. Okay, so your name's Katrina. Okay, well, welcome. Katarina? No. Oh gosh, my daughter's up. Okay, and I saw somebody that just jumped in. I'm not good at pronouncing it. Yusuf? Welcome. I'm terrible at pronouncing names, you guys. I'm just to tell you that right now. So it's not because I'm trying to mispronounce it, but I'm just not good at it. And the bad thing is, I really hate that anyway because people mispronounce my name all the time. Okay, so back to the topic. All right, so let me just do a quick reintroduction and then also recap what the short sale is. So I'm Rashida Clark. Welcome, you guys. I appreciate you coming in. Okay. I appreciate you guys coming in. I appreciate you coming in, Yusuf. And I'm a realtor, and let me just tell you guys again what short sales are. So, a short sale is when a seller, an owner, owes more than what their home is worth. They owe more to the bank than what their home is worth. So, if they sold their home today, they're still going to owe the bank money. So, they have no equity at all. That's what a short sale is. So, the extra steps that a short sale adds is number one, there are 2 levels of approvals. There are 2 levels. I'm good. So you've got to get approval from the owner And then you also have to get approval from the bank. So that's the first way that short sales become tedious. I am in Virginia. That's the first way that short sales become really tedious, because you've got to go through several layers of approval. And the other thing is, a lot of times when people are doing a short sale, depending on what bank they're using, and we'll talk about that in a second, the banks have no sense of urgency whatsoever, like none. And so, you could submit an offer today and they may not approve your offer until 4 months later. So that adds to the frustration of the process. But the one thing I want you guys to remember is that short sales, they are a good value. They appear to be a good value. And most of the time they are. But depending on your situation, if you're someone who needs to move in a reasonable amount of time, or you get frustrated easily with the process, which is what happens with most people, then a short sale isn't for you. Because honestly, a lot of people see short sales, they'll write on a meaning they'll put in an offer on a short sale, and then they'll get so frustrated and so upset with their agent, which the agent we have no control over when the bank responds. But they'll get upset with the process of having to wait for an undefined amount of time that they end up walking away from the short sale deal anyway. And what I want you guys to remember is that, when you're in the market, time is money. Time is always money, but especially when you're in the market. So all that time that you're waiting on your short sale, you're missing opportunities for other houses, and prices may be going up and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, I've known a lot of people that have waited literally 6 months to, hi Natalie, 6 months to get short sale approval from the bank. And when I say approval, I'm not talking about closing. I'm talking about literally, I submitted this contract, this offer to you, and I've waited 6 months for you to tell me whether you're going to accept my offer. And then I can start the process of getting my home inspection, getting the appraisal, getting to closing. So 6 months just for approval is a long time. So especially for people who have some sort of timeline, like if you're in a lease and you've got some sort of deadline, even if your lease is kind of flexible, like you go month to month, that's still a really, just kind of open waiting period that you have to get this response back from the bank. I mean, you're just literally, there's no way I can't tell you like it's going to be 4 months before Chase responds to you about your offer, because I don't know. I literally won't know until they send it back to me. So that's the only issue with short sales, you guys. People, you will grow old. It gives me gray hair. You're going to grow old and die waiting on a short sale approval. And if it's with Bank of America, you might as well, they could have just, you might as well, you'll have children. Your children will have children before Bank of America will respond to you about a short sale. That's like, no lie. Bank of America and Chase. Okay. Because the issue is these banks, they have no sense of urgency. They don't play by our rules. Like for, as an agent, I work off commission. I don't get paid until we close. And so I want you to be happy. I want to get things done as fast as possible for you, or whatever your timeline is. For the banks, those bank employees, they're going to get paid whether your short sale goes through or not. So they're like, whatever. The folder will sit on my desk until I get ready to process it. It's not a big deal. So that's why short sales for most people are just not ideal situations to be in. Even though the price looks good, you're like, I can get into this neighborhood for a cheaper price. That's great. But you've got to consider these issues on the back end as to whether the situation is going to be a good one for you. Now, sometimes there are short sales where the price has already been approved. And so if that's your case, if you find a short sale, tell your agent that you see this house, it's a short sale, and let your agent do a little digging. I can do that on homes, and I usually do. If the price has already been approved, you're more likely to be able to get through that process quicker than having to wait months and months and months to hear back from the bank. So sometimes that does happen, but it's really, 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 really rare. Really, really rare. And honestly, prices are still pretty cheap. So for the most part, unless you're really looking at like a higher end neighborhood where you could get into that neighborhood for a fairly decent price, for the most part, you really don't need to look at short sales if you're in like a low to moderate income neighborhood, because the prices are still reasonable. But when you get to the higher income neighborhoods, that's where it starts to make a big difference of, looking at short sales and foreclosures. So you guys, I hope that was helpful. I hope it made sense somewhat. And I'm trying to toggle back. If you guys have more questions about short sales, please let me know. The other thing I want to throw in about short sales too, you're dealing with the bank, so it's a different situation. They're not going to be as open to paying your closing costs and to making repairs to the property as a normal seller would. So, don't expect to go into a short sale, get it for dirt cheap, and then on top of that, ask for closing costs and all the repairs and this and that and the other. It's definitely going to be a very different process when you're buying a short sale than it is when you're buying a normal sale or even a foreclosure. So for some people, that knocks them out of knocks them out of the short sale game right there, because they need closing costs. Or the house needs repairs and the seller can't afford to do it and the bank's not going to do it. So, keep those things in mind when you're thinking about the short sales. Okay. All right. So, I gotta go. I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope to